meeting to order. Okay, call this meeting to order.
Microphone.
All right, please join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call of Councilor Hearns.
I'm here.
Councilor Smith.
Present.
Councilor Ritter.
Present.
Councilor Miller.
Here.
And Councilor Pointer.
Here.
All right. And Councilor Coates.
Is
Not here.
unavailable.
All right. So this special meeting is to discuss the purchase agreement for property at 105 South 8th. And I need a motion to approve the sale agreement and enter under contract to acquire the property at 105 South 8th Street. Along with who will be responsible for signing all documents. Anybody?
I make a motion that we approve the purchase, that the address spoken, and that I nominate you to sign all the documents. You being mayor.
All right. Can I get a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
What are we going to do with the property? Why are we buying this property?
Why are we buying this property?
I just throw that out as a question, and I've heard.
Investment purposes.
Investment purposes.
Yeah.
So we will, and something at some point.
Or,
I can elaborate if you want.
I love it.
So obviously, the owner of the property is here, Samantha Oswald, with her company, who actually owns the property, and the opportunity was brought to the city. And it was I think the council's feeling is it was a good opportunity for the city looking forward. The potential there to see some kind of development downtown. And in the meantime, utilize the property as commercial in some respects if you can get the building rented. Staff has started looking into opportunities for help with that already. And so I have been putting feelers out there for different organizations that might help us do something to start your income fairly quickly. I think the opportunity down the road is no matter what you do with the property in the meantime, there is an opportunity that at some point, provided the vision of the city is fulfilled, provided that you get a revenue source, provided that economic development increases downtown, you could eventually have a developer come in and do a development of your choosing to your design to how you want it. With, like I said, you could have retail down below, residential above or behind, and in exchange for the property. And so you can make those kind of trades when you have that kind of economic benefit to the city going on, and they get some money out of it. You get the economic development out of it. The problem is without a property tax, there's not much economic development we can get out of it except maybe stimulation for downtown. So those are things. I know that the council's concern is the status of the city budget-wise and fiscally. And I guess staff's response for you and what I've been hearing from you with the concerns and how to move forward is that you are still a council. This is still a city, and you still are targeted or tasked with doing what you think is best for Lakeside for the future. We do have definite economic issues and fiscal issues, budget issues. But you still have to make decisions based on what you think is best for Lakeside. And so that is what I have heard in our talks. So that, to answer your question, I hope Councilman Pointer, it should sum up what we've been, what has been taking place with no real decisions made. So that I hope clears that.
I basically just want to get this on the record.
Yeah, yep, and that's why I tried to do that summarized.
So I think that, I think it's a good investment for the city. My question all along has been, can we pay for it?
Yeah.
And so what I'm understanding from you is after talking with Stephanie Stroud and looking at the budget, that it's my understanding that it could be tough, but we can. Is that correct?
Correct. We do have a earnest money that we will be getting a check to the property owners once this agreement is signed, which will be either today or tomorrow. Hopefully that's okay. The check will be cut. I'll pick it up tomorrow for, I believe it's $6,000. That is coming out of capital. And we do have a capital fund line item, and there is that money in there. So it's not hurting the budget at all. There's no supplemental budget we have to do. We don't have to open the budget. It's there. So that's good, positive. The payments, once the property is exchanged and the closing, the payments will be about $40,000 a year for 10 years. In the process of this, in our executive sessions and staff working, knowing this is coming potentially, I've been looking at the budget. We didn't hire a city clerk this year. I've been we're limping along with that. So there'll be that savings there, and then we'll look at some other things. So we should be able to do okay. So.
You would take into the next budget consideration of not filling that position to possibly provide the funds.
Yeah, I think when we look, and again, I don't want to sugarcoat this. I mean, you're going to get a harsh reality in the budget time. We all know that. We all know it. But there is some money that was there for instance, Cassell. Remember when I put that money in? And we council made the decision that that wasn't a good use of those funds at this time, which I agree with. So that money's still sitting there in contracted services. I believe it was like 50,000 across the board, and we've been very, very fiscally tight. I have been watching the money, and so we have been very good about not spending those line items up to the max, obviously. So there is some cushion in there to roll over and to carry this through, at least until we know the outcome of the vote. So I think you're going to be okay. It's going to be tight. So we'll be okay.
Thank you.
The only thing I have is, I was actually going to ask that due to time constraints in my schedule, that city manager be sign all the documents
Okay.
and stuff. If anybody hasn't, is everybody okay with that?
Changing the motion.
Yeah, you'd have to amend the motion,
Oh.
Okay.
I would have to, okay.
or you can withdraw your motion and restate it. Either way.
Okay, I withdraw the motion for the purchase of the property and as mayor as signage, and I make a motion. Do we have to say that we purchase the property at the address stated and the city manager will sign the check?
Second the motion.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. And is there any more discussion?
Just to clarify, there is a state law I'm checking into, and the attorney's checking into that. Possibly when we sign the deed, get the deed recorded. Sometimes the clerk may want a resolution. So at that time, you may get a resolution in front of you. I'm just letting you know, just so
Okay.
you don't not see it coming.
All right, anything else? Okay. Let's see, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
All opposed?
Yay.
Okay.
Is that a yay or nay?
That's yay.
Oh,
I
okay.
oppose.
All right. Motion passes. I will be contacting you each individually about rules. We need to set some rules, so.
Okay.
I'll be contacting you each. But our next meeting is April 13th at 6 p.m. and I understand that, what,
Well, she just put an email out that it was gonna be started at 5 with that Patty, right?
Mhm.
So, okay, but the meeting doesn't start until 6.
Yeah,
How does that
so,
work?
oh, well, Patty will be here at 5, so that she'll be like a before the meeting, and we did get confirmation, so Patty Mullaville will be here to do the homeless presentation that I'd been talking about.
Okay.
So the next meeting on April 13th, she will be here at 5 to do that presentation, and the meeting will start at 6. So that gets her in, and then she can get out.
okay, and we need as many people.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
People are questioning.
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
I know it's gonna be packed, but people need to come and listen, because that's what's gonna be their understanding.
Mhm.
So. All right. Council comments?
There isn't any on the agenda.
That's right,
No.
there is no comments.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, the meeting is adjourned.